Previously on Survivor Boston, the merge shot the game into overdrive as every player started to think about their path to the end. Anissa's target continued to grow as Zach had doubts about her legacy power.
The consensus is she's told everyone the same rules for it, which is another reason I think that it's baloney.
At the immunity challenge, Anissa pulled off a much-needed win in order to save herself.
38.
With Zach's target now immune, the vote switched to Hallie as she started to disassociate from the game.
That's a fucking wrong word. Disillusion. Maybe is a better word. Disconnected. I'm just tired.
But at the last minute, Anissa was able to flip Finn over to her side with Big H, Carly, and Marlon. Thinking she had Jackie's vote as well, Anissa cast a vote in the minority so she could obtain her full idol.
I'm voting for Zach, because he kind of hurt my feelings in trying.
But Jackie had other plans.
Hallie, I don't know, this might be the wrong move, but we'll see.
While Anissa lost the chance to get her idol, Maddie and her allies were still blindsided.
7th person voted out of Survivor Boston. First member right here.
10 are left and the game is up in the air. Who will be voted out tonight?
I have no words. I'm so upset that Maddie is gone because she was an innocent and she was betrayed by the people. So I feel very upset. But yeah, I don't know what happened because I felt pretty confident that Old Fatia was gonna stick together because we clearly had the numbers because there were 7 of us. It was Carly who first told us that Hallie doesn't even want to be really in the game anymore, which seemed like a good reason to vote her off. But then obviously those numbers don't make sense because if 7 people said they would vote for Hallie and only 5 did the first round, I know 2 people didn't. I felt really loyal to Zach, Maddie, Anna, and Finn. So my first thought was, okay, these 5, we stuck together.
I kind of solidified in my head the notion of what was going to happen going forward in this competition, which was if it stayed the way it did, if I got to the top 5 and I knew that Maddie and Zach were both there, I would literally have no chance of getting further than that. I've heard that they want to send me home, and I did not want to play a game where I just was kind of going along with some people that I knew were eventually just going to send me home. So I decided to kind of switch things up a little bit. Going into Tribal, I was the most nervous I've ever been in my entire life. This was me basically flipping on all of my closest allies that I've had in this entire game. At the end of the day, now with Maddie gone, I am not threatened by anyone on my alliance or the other alliance, really.
Really?
Yes! I was only
In
nothing I
there,
could
did you
do.
think you were going home?
Yes! I was 100% sure. I was I guess I'm just gonna throw up my butt.
Would you mind me asking if you voted, if I was Zach?
I didn't vote for you, bro.
Well, then you voted for Maddie and then you were in on whatever was going on.
Yeah.
Well, she...
But I wasn't gonna vote for
Am I supposed to
myself.
be here for this? Do I have to?
You can help me.
Okay.
She can't
Love
vote
you.
for herself though.
I'm not gonna vote for myself.
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
No, you're not allowed.
No, you're not. You're not. I'm just...
And I wouldn't do that anyway.
Me, Hector, Anissa, and Marlon have kind of formed this new alliance, the 4 of us, and it's been pretty strong so far. We were for sure gonna have a majority. Leaving that meeting in our heads, we were gonna have a majority because it was me, Anissa, Hector, and Marlon. Should have been Hallie and Jackie, and might have been Finn and Anna. And we get to Tribal, and it's a tie. And it's what? I don't know how it turned out to be a tie. Someone voted for Zach, and I was shocked. And Tribal was crazy because everyone was not really talking about it. Everyone was thinking that we were all gonna vote Hallie, and then the votes started getting read, and you could just see the shock on Maddie's face and on Zach's face and Swetha. And
I feel like I'm in a fever trip.
Yeah, I don't know where we're
This is a really chill fever dream,
Guys ready
bro.
for,
This is right.
No, I'm gonna walk in and they're gonna be like, oh, do 12 things with your head. And I'll be like, nah.
Guys, I'm so mad. And mostly at myself, honestly. So basically, Maddie just went home and I never thought that Finn would switch on that. And and make it a tie. And like that's why that happened. Like that's why it went to tie, because he switched. And I wouldn't have had to make that decision if he didn't. And so it's like, what the hell? So like I'm mad at myself. I'm disappointed in myself because I shouldn't have done that. And then I'm also like mad that I was put in the position to do that, because like Maddie was my ally, and as much as like she also scared me a little bit because she was a threat, like that should not have happened. And I'm so mad at myself for doing that. I'm so mad. Whatever. Bye.
Well, damn.
What's that gif of that?
Who's this GIF? Is this GIF?
It's GIF.
I heard it's Jeff.
The creator called it GIF.
Jif is a peanut butter brand.
That's what the creator called it.
Last tribal, I had to cast a minority vote to activate my idol. I didn't know who I was going to put it for, but I did Zach because he kind of like annoyed me when we were talking during the questions. He was like, oh, I'm willing to work with people who have advantages, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to target them. But by me doing a minority vote, I was the one who like sent it to a tie. And then it was basically me who had to decide who went home. Because I don't think anyone switched their vote. But like, even if they did, and I voted for Hallie, if Hallie went home, then 1, my person goes home, and 2, I don't activate my idol. So I thought the best bet was to vote for Maddie, so that at least, even if it isn't the minority vote, Maddie goes home. So I voted for Maddie, and then Maddie went home. But now I don't have the idol that I found, which is annoying because I did cast a minority vote, but it doesn't count, right? Because they didn't go home. There's no way I could have activated my idol. Which is annoying because I found it and it was so hard to find. And I thought we planned it out where we had one more than majority voting for Maddie, that it wouldn't matter what my vote was. But someone didn't follow through.
Anissa had texted me that morning being like, oh, like we're all voting for Maddie. And I was like, okay, like not my first choice, but like let me know if that progresses, kind of. I bumped into Finn right before the dining hall and I was literally just like grabbing food. And he was like, yeah, we're voting for Maddie. And I was like, because I was like, I can't believe that Finn, of all people, would vote against Maddie. Everything happens at tribal. And then basically like Hallie gets like reamed out at tribal and Hallie like basically begs us to send her home. Like at least that's how I was interpreting it. So after that I was kind of like, okay, I think A, I don't want Maddie out of the game. B, I don't even know if we have the votes. So I was definitely deciding right up until the end. And then I was like, there might be a chance that Hallie goes home anyway, because Hallie just, that whole thing happened to her. So then I voted for Hallie, and lo and behold, it's a tie. And someone voted for Zach? What? And then the second time I was like, okay, I look so shady if Hallie goes home, and then it's obvious to figure out that I was the one who didn't vote for her. So I was like, honestly, everyone's just gonna vote for Maddie anyway. So I voted for Maddie, and I felt really bad because I felt like I had betrayed her.
All right, so basically, here's what I think. Okay, so basically, you voted for you voted for Maddie, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what was the deal with that? Because I was clued in like very late into the game, and then after all that shit happened to you, like during the tribal, I was like,
I don't blame you.
Dude,
You voted for me.
Dude, I literally was like, I guess we're all voting for Hallie. She wants to go home because I literally assumed that everyone else was gonna like.
Bruh, I did too.
Dude,
I definitely thought I was going home.
Me too, because
I'm so confused.
I knew from like Anissa and all the other old Katai that that old like OG Katai was gonna vote Maddie off, but I really thought that we were in the minority. Like it was just gonna be like the 4 of us.
Also, I didn't want to vote you out because I enjoy you.
I enjoy you too.
Oh, thank you.
And I do enjoy being on the show.
Oh, good. Okay, so do you want to keep playing then?
That's a complicated question. I want to keep playing, but also like if I got voted out, like I wouldn't be.
It would be like a little bit of a relief, yeah.
How do I feel now? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I feel a weird mix of like relieved, because I guess I am pretty relieved that if I would be staying in the game, it would be for Katai. It does change the game for me that it, in a way that it makes it a little bit like, it makes me a little bit more wary of Fatia. Like the fact that like Fatia really did like fucking I don't know. I'm just so shocked. Like,
Well, literally,
who do
I
you
go
wanna vote
right
off?
before tribal. Okay,
It's okay if you vote me. It's fine.
No, you're not even on my wish list.
Oh,
my first
I'm
choice.
so flattered.
Yeah. Okay, don't tell anyone. My first choice.
Okay.
Except unless people seem into it, then be like, yeah.
Are you into it? I'm into it.
Yeah. I feel like okay, my first choice would be Finn because I'm kind of like A, power player, B, he swapped so easily to be like to vote with us, which I think means he's a power player. My second choice would be probably Carly or Marlon, just because I don't know as much about them.
Carly or Marlon?
Hello, Survivor Boston. I'm filming myself right now because I feel like raw emotions are what makes Survivor a great show. So although I am not feeding these emotions to others that in a way that could hurt my game, I can be totally candid on my little camera and say that I'm blown out of the water after tonight's vote. I went in thinking literally we have our core five, me, Anna, Finn, Maddie, Swetha. Wrong assumption off the bat. I came in thinking Carly and Marlon, though they're at the bottom of Old Fatia, they won't flip. And as an added little benefit, we had Miss Jackie. She didn't buy into it, which honestly, smart. Honestly, smart, Jackie. I would have actually very much considered a path with you and Anna if both of you didn't screw me over today, which you did. On Nuke Tie, Anna and I talked a lot because we were like, fuck, what are we doing? Marlon, Anna expressed to me, she was like, final three, you, me, Jackie.
Interesting.
In our core 5 meeting, she was playing so dumb. Or like she was like purposely like she was like, wait, what? I had never heard of Marlon's disadvantage. And I was like, why are you lying to these people? These people are our alliance, especially with things like this that a lot of people know. Like, why are you playing dumb with our core alliance? So that's, I guess, like...
Is it her then?
I'm not so sure of literally anyone's game. I think some people made some smart moves today. I think Carly and Marlon, smart for them. Cool, you were at the bottom of our alliance. You were literally at the bottom of the totem pole. Anna, literally what? What? I don't think Finn flipped. I know Finn didn't.
No, I know Finn. Like, Finn looked so surprised. There's no way Finn flipped. I mean, there is, but like, I just don't believe it.
I think I could see him flipping later, but not on Maddie. Like, not at this point.
Not at this point.
The first vote happened, and it's 5 votes Hallie, 5 votes Maddie, and then 1 vote me, which literally, what?
Like
we were so
3 hours
comfortable
ago.
for so long.
I remember today we were talking and I was so confident because like every week with the new tribe, like we kept doubting Carly and I was like, no, I trust her, and then she kept coming through and I was like, I really just trust these people now.
Yeah.
Like I know we're gonna do this, and then like
They're better players than I previously thought.
Yeah.
I have an idol. The only person that knows is Swetha. I'm really, really banking on Swetha being truthful to me. I have no reason to believe she isn't, other than just I don't know anything that's going on right now.
they're gonna come for us if we don't do something.
No, they're gonna pick us off. That's why we need to use this hit an immunity idol somehow to be
Me and Zach talked for like a long time, and we were just like, what is happening? Like, and we both agreed that we literally only trust each other and no one else in this game, which is like just like kind of scary all of a sudden, because I felt like I trusted so many people and now I only trust one person.
Do you think I should tell more people about? No, I'm telling no one at this point.
You literally don't trust anyone. I would not tell anyone.
Fuck. Where do we go from here, right? I'm sure that's what you're wondering, Charlie and Jacob. I don't want to be like, I'm at the bottom, use me, because that's weird, and like, we just came out of a clear situation. An hour ago, I was like, I'm like final 3 confirmed. Literally, core 5 plus these 7. These 7, we vote off the other 4. Click, click, click. And then once it gets down to us 7, bye-bye. And then once it gets down to us 5, bye Finn, bye Anna. But things aren't that easy, Zach. Stupid Zach. Things aren't that easy. People feel when they're at the bottom. And that's something I just realized. I'm really logical about this game, but I don't like take into account that people have intuition. The hard thing about this is you don't know whether people are bad players or really good players. Like, you don't know if they're not thinking about it at all or if they're thinking about it a lot. And like, you just have to base that off of what you know about them as a person, which for like literally everyone here is not much. Like, that's why it's such a cool game. That's why I love Survivor. It's so interesting, like, to watch people's minds like this. Clearly, I'm a sociopath, and I do not understand emotions, and I'm like, ooh, look, a chance to learn how people react to situations. Weird.
Alrighty, are you guys ready for your next immunity challenge?
No.
Nope.
Alright.
Yes.
Guess we're not doing. No, just kidding. First things first, Anissa, I'll take back immunity. Thank you. Once again, immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, we're doing a little game of memory where we're going to give you guys, we're going to give each of you a block. I'm going to name a sequence of symbols, and then one at a time I'll be asking you to show me that sequence of symbols. And at some points I may go out of order. If you get something wrong, you're out of the challenge. The last one standing wins immunity, has a 1 in 9 shot at winning this game. Yeah, we'll get started. First sequence. Blue circle, red circle, blue square, orange triangle, red circle. That's the sequence. Alright, can everybody show me the first symbol?
You'll count down, then you'll reveal.
3, 2, 1, reveal. Everyone says blue circle, everyone is right. Now show me the second symbol. Alright, a little bit of a mixed bag.
Oh wait, are you gonna reveal?
Oh yeah, sorry. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Alright, so Zach and Finn say blue square, everybody else says red circle. Zach, Finn, do you think you're right?
No.
Finn thinks he's right. You guys are not right. The answer is red circle.
You guys can take a spot on the side. Oh! And then every time someone's out, everyone else is.
Show me the third symbol. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Alright, so Big H says orange triangle, Hallie says blue circle, everyone else says blue square. Big H, Hallie, do you think you're... Well, Big H, do you think you're right? No. Hallie, do you think you're right?
Thought I was.
You guys are not right. The correct answer is blue square. Just like that, we are down to 6. Show me the fourth symbol. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Everyone says orange triangle. Everyone is correct. Show me the fifth symbol, fifth and final symbol. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Everyone says red circle except for Jackie, who says blue square.
No way. Yeah, no way I haven't.
Jackie, you are incorrect. The correct answer is red circle, and we are down to 5.
Ooh.
All right. Green square. black triangle, green square, blue square, orange triangle, blue circle, green square, red circle. Alright, can everyone show me the first symbol? Thank you. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Everyone says green square, everyone is correct. Now the second symbol. 3, 2, 1, everybody has black triangle, everyone is correct. The third symbol. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Everyone says green square except for Carly who says blue square. Carly, do you think you're right?
No.
That's correct, you were not right. Which means Carly's out of the challenge. Show me the fourth symbol. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Okay, a little bit of a mixed bag. Marlon and Swetha say blue square. Anna says orange triangle. Anissa says black triangle. You're already kind of leaning.
I know I'm not right.
Anissa, you are not right. Anna, do you think you're right?
Yes.
You do? You are not correct. It's blue square, which means we are down to Marlon and Swetha for immunity.
Honestly.
Show me the fifth symbol, the next one. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Alright, Marlon says orange triangle. Swetha says blue circle. Swetha, how confident do you feel?
Like, truly 50%.
Marlon, what about you?
I'm pretty confident.
Feeling pretty confident? The correct answer is orange triangle, which means Marlon wins the
Good job.
Alright, Marlon, come get immunity. Hold the glasses.
That's all good.
That's a look. It's a moment.
Save from the vote, you have a 1 in 9 shot at winning this game. As for the rest of you, one of you is going to be the 8th person voted out of this game and will be the 2nd member of our jury. You guys have about a week to figure that out. Grab your stuff. Head on out. Good night.
Good night. Work doing. It feels great. I feel a lot safer. Well, I was just feeling kind of confident because I feel like I know who I'm with and who I want to be voting with. That was kind of like a second win for me.
I'm shocked that I'm still here. I really am. Because after that I was like, I'm definitely going home, and I'm still here, which I don't understand. Like, I don't understand what Maddie did to deserve being voted off. But I mean, I'm still here on the show, and as long as I'm here, I'm gonna play the game. I'm not gonna quit.
The only way Marlon having the immunity idol affects me is the fact that I don't have it. So it doesn't really affect me that much, besides the fact that I could be going home this week. And the idol that I do have, I can't use until like the top 6 if I want to use it for immunity. And everyone wants me to get rid of it. While we were like deliberating who to vote for, I was like counting on my fingers like what the votes were. And I'm pretty sure that it was Big H, Jackie, Hallie, Carly, Marlon. And then from the other side, it must have been Maddie, Zach, Anna, Finn. Oh, Swetha. Okay, so actually, Finn didn't vote with me. Finn and Anna voted for Hallie, and then my 5 voted for Maddie. So actually, Finn didn't vote with me. That's news to me.
I'm on the bottom because I knew for sure I voted Hallie twice and knew that only one other person did at that point in time, like right after tribal. So while we were still doing the challenge, I was like completely not focused. Not like I would have done well. I do not have a great memory, but like even worse because I was like going through things in my head, like who's the one other person in this game essentially that I can trust is how I was looking at it.
So what happened?
Look, I trust you, and so I'm going to tell you everything I know.
Okay.
Because I don't really like lying, and I think that we can do something with this information to make this better now.
Okay.
I flipped on the tie. I was literally, the footage of me in the voting room was me going like this for like 5 minutes. I wrote a line on my paper because it could have been an H or an M, and I was like, and then I sang a little song. I was like, I hate this so much and I want to cry. And Jacob was like, nice song. And I was like, I hate everything. And I voted Maddie, and I don't know what to do now. And I'm putting a lot of trust in you telling you that, because I don't know what to do.
No, thank you for telling me that. And she goes, okay, honestly, first vote, I voted with you guys, and then I flipped on Maddie, which I feel horrible about. Sure, you voted with us the first time, which is great, but you like want to keep open lines of communication with old Katai. That's still betraying your old alliance. Confirmed, she's one of the 5. So now we know it's me, Swetha, and Anna, and then 2 others voted the first time. I was just confused about the original 5, and then who flipped after. Like, who flipped after the tie.
Yeah.
Like,
so
you make sense as, like, you voted Hallie.
And then I flipped.
And then flipped
Finn
over.
flipped first, because that's the only way we got a tie. So Finn voted Maddie first.
So who voted Hallie in the first round?
You, me, Maddie, Swetha, Jackie.
Jackie.
I think.
I could tell people like Finn was trying to put on a face of like, how did this happen? And I was like, you flipped. You know how this happened. Like, take that face off. I know that I flipped and I'm devastated about it, and I'm going to tell my team, my alliances, that I flipped.
This side is the bigger players right now. Swetha and I completely, all of our power was just nulled. Like, we have 0 power in this game right now. Like, you and Finn have inside, like, whatever ties to, like, information and everything on that side, but, like, on the whole, you've played a more loyal game than Carly and Marlon.
Oh, 100%. The only reason I'd ever been, like, disloyal or even, like, sketch was just to make sure that Marlon would keep telling me things.
I don't know what Finn's intentions were. I think he's really trying to play the middle, in not the smartest way. So it's not clear to anyone who he's actually voting with unless we go by the most recent vote, which in that case he would be against me. I'm just trying to figure out like where the numbers were. Right. I know for certain me and Swetha voted Hallie both times, and I know that the first vote was 5-5-1.
Right.
No idea who voted my name.
Yeah.
I know I'm at the bottom of things right now.
I felt like I was at the bottom of things. Truly.
I like completely was in the dark. I feel like people know that like Maddie and I from the beginning were like talking and everything, and that's why I think it was smart that people kept me in the dark about it. Like, I think that was really a smart move by Carly and Marlon, to be honest. Like, it shitty for me, but like...
Yeah, but like, that was like...
They were gonna go home once it was...
Right, you know,
they'd
like...
be stupid to buy that. So I understand that, and I'm like, fuck, and looking back at my game, and I'm like, damn, and
Yeah.
I think I'm very much the next target, which sucks. So I'm like kind of considering like, okay, where do we go from here?
I didn't tell them because I know if I told them they would never trust me again, and for my game, like, it still makes sense for me to be in this alliance. I'm still planning on voting with this alliance, like, so it's kind of a weird situation. I feel like crazy now.
What happened?
So now that we got that moment of silence out of the way.
Really awkward. I was just being like, poor Maddie.
Yeah.
No, you go.
No, like, what do people think? Like, where do we go from here?
I think the best thing to do is not try to evaluate all the things that happened, because I think it was a lot. Like, I'm just gonna go out and say that I voted Hallie and then I voted Maddie. Like, I did flip on the tie vote, and there was a lot happening. And I think that the most productive thing to do is not try to psychoanalyze what happened and just try to psychoanalyze how to make it better from here.
Yeah. And also, like, I literally almost voted for Maddie in the second one too, so I get where you're coming from. Like, we're all still here, so I'm like, no hard feelings, you know what I mean?
I really don't trust Finn anymore, and he's definitely been lying to us this week. So it was really hard for me and Zach to move forward just because it was like me, Zach, and Maddie like had our thing together, the three of us. Like they were basically the only two people that I trust in this whole game. Kind of moving forward, we knew that we're probably on the chopping block like for this weekend. Like they're probably gonna take out one of us tonight, like the other one on Sunday, and that's kind of their plan. Everyone turned on us, but then we were like, okay, like we have to at least try to come up with a plan.
Now that like they sort of have like the numbers on their side in a sense, where like we saw that like
Marlon and Carly are not
Marlon and Carly
on
like
side.
voted with them, so
Yeah.
like now it looks like they have the numbers on their side. So like I feel like the best thing we can do moving forward is like somehow like get some people from their side to flip and turn on like someone on their side who should go home. Honestly, I was thinking Hallie. I think like after she said that whole thing about how she wants to go home, I think it's gonna be really easy for us to be like, you don't deserve to be here after complaining wanting to go home. You know what I mean? Like
So you mean we should target her?
I think we should target Hallie.
Okay. Again.
I think I think this time we really, now that she's like said all that stuff like out in the open during tribal about how she wants to go home, like now I think is our time to really just like target her, get like other people on our
Like,
side.
I think Hallie's a good bet, cause like honestly,
because like
Anissa wasn't even like, I don't think she was in on like the whole Hallie like performance thing. I really have no idea, but like her like counting in the corner and everything. Right.
Yeah, she kept being like the numbers don't add up, like it doesn't make sense.
I mean, I was sitting there trying to be like, what are we gonna do? What's going on? And then Swetha was just like, Swetha was in the dark for the vote, so she was actually what's happening. And Zach was sitting next to me, and every time Finn said anything, he would just like nudge me with his foot. He would just like hit my foot with his foot, being like, lie. Finn was like, you know what? I completely understand. I would have done that too in your position. I almost did, but I didn't. But I completely understand why you did. And Zach was just like viciously hitting my foot with his foot, and I was like, I get it. Yeah, I know he's lying. Calm down.
Hallie is a very logical way to go.
Because like again, it's like, yes, I know some people's like mentality is like get rid of like the threats, focus on those people later, but it's like it's the same thing where like she could still become a threat
the thing
later.
is, like,
you know
if
what I
she
mean?
stays around, she'll be a threat just because of how long she stayed around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's past that time. to
Like
have
that's the
fillers.
same thing with like Big H. Like I think at this point he's a threat just because of how long he's been able to like stay around.
We were supposed to have like the
Exactly,
majority.
yeah.
And so like someone who was supposed to vote with us didn't vote. And like I know Marlon and me both voted for Maddie.
I swear on my life.
I
voted
know.
with us,
I
like-
believe you because like why would you not?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And like Anissa too. So it literally has to be either Hallie or Jackie didn't vote for Maddie.
Or it could, honestly, yeah. I'm almost positive Jackie would vote with us, but then again, like who knows at the end of the day?
Finn didn't vote for Maddie clearly, and like he literally like from his point of view, he thinks that he brought me and Marlon into that.
Yeah.
But then he didn't vote for Maddie.
Then how do we? I honestly don't know numbers. Whatever. Maddie's gone, but then
Yeah.
Oh, because Anna voted with us from the beginning. Then
Well, no, Anna told Marlon that she would vote for Maddie if there was a tie.
I don't know numbers-wise how it turned out to only be 5 people who voted for Maddie. I don't know who voted for Zach. It could have been Jackie. It could have been Hallie. Hallie couldn't have voted for herself. But the thing is, like, the minute we got out of Tribal, Zach confronted Hallie and said, did you vote for me? Like, were you the one vote for me? And Hallie was like, no. So that means that Jackie didn't vote for Maddie. And Finn also didn't vote for Maddie. Because if I assume that Marlon's telling the truth and Anissa's telling the truth and Hector is telling the truth, which I would assume that they are because they're my closest allies in this game, that Jackie and Finn both didn't vote for Maddie the first time round. Which I just want to say, if that's true, Finn, you're Snake. Because in his mind, he thinks that he's the one who brought me and Marlon in on the whole thing.
So wait, did he tell you he didn't vote for Maddie? Or
No,
we
but
just
like,
know?
just think about it. Like, he couldn't have been one of the people who voted for Maddie. Unless he flipped during the tie, and they didn't read all the votes, so we don't really know.
That's true.
But like, he was supposed to vote for Maddie in the first place.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to figure out who voted for Zach. I've been asked by several people if it was myself, but it wasn't me. I know Anissa voted to try to get the idol for herself. I know for a fact that Marlon, Carly, myself, Jackie, and Hallie all voted for Maddie to go home. Right now, my core people are Anissa's #1, and then Carly and Marlon. I also work a lot with Jackie, but right now, I think after this next point in the game, I think we're gonna be split apart.
This gives me so much stress.
Oh, I can imagine.
Love Survivor. It's fine.
We love you.
2 days ago, I saw Swetha, Anna, Zach, and Finn all walk out of Walker together. And Swetha was the only one who saw me, and like she kind of waved, like it was clearly like there's an awkward vibe because clearly they all met without me and Marlon and like had like an Old Fatia meeting, just the four of them. And so that really set like my teeth on edge because I was like damn, like they think it's me, like they all voted, like they all got together and decided that I was the one who flipped. They probably think Marlon flipped too, like they're probably after us, like they're probably like trying to get their votes together to vote me off. I was high-key freaking out.
So, tribal.
So
That's crazy.
that was crazy. So, like, what happened?
I have no idea. Literally, I have no idea what happened. Like, I voted for Hallie.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
Like,
I did too.
Because I thought that was the plan.
Me
and
too.
Then, like, all of a sudden they started
I don't know what
reading votes.
happened.
It was kind of up to me to like really save face and make her seem like I did vote for Maddie and that I wasn't the one who flipped. And I thought I did a pretty good job. I like really hopefully was a good actress and like lied my ass off.
Moving forward now, I'm like, okay, clearly
everyone's really out for like
like clearly we're in the dark and like the tables have turned. So like,
right.
I don't know, like we have to like come up with a strategy because otherwise we're just gonna all be picked off one by one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm wondering if like Hallie's gonna stick around now.
I know. Like, well now that like, I mean, it's clear that like they're taking us out now and like there's some people in Old Fatia who've like flipped.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know why I'm just like, I'm a little like suspicious of Finn. Like I like Finn, I've always thought that he was a strong player. And like I wonder if he's getting a little bored with like this chummy Old Fatia stuff.
Maybe you should be with him then.
So I met with Carly yesterday, and basically she lied to my face, which is great.
So I was kind of like, so what happened yesterday? And I kind of knew that she had flipped, so I was hoping that she would kind of come clean and just admit it so we could move on, but then she like was definitely lying. So then that was kind of helpful because I knew that like she was like almost definitely flipped to the other side. I feel like the old tribal lines are still there. I think old Katai is definitely alive and well, but there's only 4 of us. So it's like one of those things where we definitely have like some loyalty towards one another, but at the same time, I do think that Anissa and Big H have more alliances with like Finn and Carly and Marlon, whereas like I have more alliances with like Zach, Swetha, and like Anna.
Here is my thing. Who do you want to vote off? Like, what are you thinking?
I just like don't obviously trust Finn or Carly.
That's exactly how I feel. Yeah, I'm like on the same exact page as you.
Yeah, I just like don't know.
Yeah, they're flip-floppers.
Because we also like need, like I know Anna.
Especially in your perspective.
Yeah.
Because like that means you or Zach could be next, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I know like Anna and Zach are down to vote for either of them, probably too. I don't think.
Yeah, I
like,
think so too.
It is like a bold move.
I think Hallie would be down for it also.
Really?
Yeah, Hallie would definitely be down.
If we
for
had
it.
Hallie, we'd have the majority.
Yeah, I think so too. Dude,
Which they
I
could
am
be.
so down to vote for Finn. Like, I like do not trust him at all. Like,
Same.
I love him as a person.
Finn is like a powerful player and he could easily be like, Jackie's throwing my name out, let's be rid of her. I also think if Hallie goes home, that could also screw up my game because Hallie, for now, seems like she's voting with me. I'm also starting to play a little more offensively now, which I'm pretty proud of myself for, because before I was playing a little more defensively, and now I feel like I'm like, yeah, survivor, you know?
Zach, you, me,
Zach and Anna.
Zach and Anna are all down for.
Yeah, well, I met with Jackie last night, and she like almost immediately brought up Finn's name because Jackie also feels like she can't trust him, and that Finn has always been playing like the middle ground and will kind of flip to whatever side is, I don't know, gonna like give him the majority. We were kind of considering also going for Carly tonight because we also don't trust her and she's also being sneaky. Trying to go for Carly tonight would be a really big power move that might like upset some people who are trying to ally with her. Like Marlon, like I don't really know. I think she's allied with Big H and Anissa.
I would love to sway someone else as
Same.
well, just to make it safe. And I think maybe Big H could be that person because I don't think he necessarily trusts Finn. But on the other hand, Finn could be like a strong ally for him.
Yeah.
And Marlon's not going to vote because that's his disadvantage,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
I do feel like a schism is about to occur, and I think that that's going to come out maybe in this vote, if not the next vote. So much can change over the course of the day right before Tribal, so so who knows what's gonna happen, you know?
Marlon, we know his disadvantage is he cannot vote, or so he's told everyone. He cannot vote in one of 3 tribal councils, his first 3 tribal councils. This is his 3rd, and he's voted in the other 2. So we're not considering Marlon as even a person this week because he has immunity also. So if you're looking at 9 people left, then 5 should be enough. That said, who knows? We don't know who the target on this side should be yet, if it's Finn, Carly, or if we don't tell Hallie and we make it Hallie and then we try to get Finn in on this vote, just so like because he might vote with us this upcoming week to be like, I'm still aligned to you guys, because he's straddling the middle so hard.
The reason for the people I want to vote out is literally because they intimidated me and because I think they play a really strong game. And because they were on the OG Katai and I don't have like a genuine connection with them. So if I don't really care about you, then
Swetha, Zach, Jackie. I trust those people. And we'll get Hallie off. She shouldn't be here. So I'm kind of playing the game honestly. I think with like what I do, I say what I do, but then also with like a hint of like, I'm open for anything when I'm really have a more set goal, like more set idea of who I actually am wanting to work with. Katai did not really meet. It's Thursday and we did not talk about who we wanted to vote off. So like there's kind of some disorganization and I'm nervous that since no one's really reached out to me that maybe people are thinking about voting me off.
So, tribal.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
It was crazy.
Full disclosure, I voted for Maddie.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay. I don't know what happened with the votes because we shouldn't have tied, right?
No, because someone voted for Zach and I don't know who that was.
Me either.
I understood why someone voted
For Zach, yeah.
Because like Hallie made that huge speech about like how she like didn't want to be here.
So this week the plan is to get Hallie out because honestly she should have gone home last week in my opinion, because if you don't want to be here you shouldn't be in the game. With Hallie gone, that means we again have the upper hand and we have the votes to get it done, and especially after last week at Tribal, she's a super easy target. At this point in the game, I'm just trying to find all the targets that aren't me.
The one thing I'm scared for is that if we send Hallie home, like I'm worried Anissa's gonna like call us out. But I don't think she would do that, right?
No, I don't. It's not in her like best interest to expose us because right now we're the only thing giving her somewhat of a majority.
Yeah, honestly, true.
Yeah.
True.
The best thing to do is to have Old Fatia come together and like vote together and just vote off Hallie this week. I could see why Finn would lie to me if they are all gonna vote me and we vote Hallie, like then I'm out kind of. Like that could be that, and so I don't really know what to do, if we should vote Hallie or if we should all rally together, Old Katai and me and Marlon, and like vote Finn and just see what the numbers come out to. I think it'd be really interesting, but then Finn would like probably think that I voted for him and he wouldn't like trust me anymore. So it's a dangerous game that I'm playing. It really is a dangerous game.
We'll now bring in Maddie, voted out at the last tribal council.
Oh my god.
Wait, really?
Oh my god, that was so
Just as a reminder, the jury is here to watch and take notes on what is happening so they can make an accurate decision on their choice.
Yeah!
Swetha, we'll start tonight with you. At the last tribal council, there was clearly a lot of chaos, no one really knowing what's happening. Has everyone come to a conclusion on what happened at that last tribal council?
I don't think everyone voted the way they did for the same reasons. I think some people voted for someone because they saw them as a threat, or they voted for someone because they wanted to be loyal to their alliance, or they wanted to vote for someone just because like they just wanted to throw a name out. So, yeah.
So, because it sounded like at the last tribal council when everyone was talking that Hallie was going to be that basically mercy vote to take her out of the game, as she didn't want to be here.
I'm using my terminology.
And yet at the first vote we have, it's a 5-5-1 tie. So
So Carly, has there been discussion on who voted for who at this tribal when apparently everyone was supposed to vote for Hallie?
There's definitely been discussion. I agree with Swetha. I don't think you can really come to any conclusions because you never know who's telling the truth and who's lying. Like you can choose who you decide to believe, but at the end of the day, like only the people who voted know what they voted. My kind of thing is at the end of the day, you kind of just have to move on because it happened and try to figure out who you're going to trust from like here on out.
I mean, yeah, you could totally move on from what happened, but Zach, there must be some sense of paranoia that if you think the vote is going one way, it can completely go the other way in a second.
Yeah, no, that was really scary to realize that I could go from being someone in the tribal council where if we were asked, do you feel safe tonight, I would have raised my hand, and then to one of my closest allies in the game going home. So it was a wake-up call for sure, and I think it's literally everything changed. It's an entirely different game since the last tribal council.
So at the last tribal council, it was brought up that there were sides of Old Katai against Old Katia. Are there still two clear sides, Jackie?
I don't think there are really any clear sides at all at this point. Of course, people still have their original tribes, but at the same time, I don't know if post-merge those carry any weight anymore.
So Finn, what it sounds like Jackie is saying that old tribe lines are now dissolved. Are there new alliances that are starting to replace those old tribal lines?
From what I've experienced, no. Now that the lines of who's on what side are kind of blurrier, it's definitely, I feel a lot more able to reach out to people who maybe in the past I'd be no, I wouldn't talk to them because they're not on my alliance. If there are new alliances forming, good for them, I guess. It's bound to happen at some point.
I feel there's a kind of a sense of who's loyal to who, but with some people you're not really sure. And I think almost everyone's on the same page right now, but then again you can never know. So I feel after today we're back to square one where we get someone out that we're not sure about.
So you're saying that tonight everybody should be on the same page, but that was also the deal last time. So what makes you so sure about this time?
I don't know. I'm just hoping that everyone's on the same page, I guess.
I'll say it. I think truthfully this week, Hallie, unfortunately, I think it's your week to go. Last week was definitely a huge upset in a lot of ways. It was really kind of shocking, and it I think a lot of people could agree with me where it's frustrating to see someone who has very openly has been I don't want to be here, gotten this far. So I mean that's how I'm voting tonight, truthfully.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just not as committed as I used to be. But I mean also we'll see. I mean there was this last week was a huge surprise.
So Hallie, welcome back to the line of fire right now. So your name is the only name currently that's been thrown out at this tribal council. Is that concerning to you that two tribals in a row, your name has been thrown out? At the last tribal, you expressed interest in being the one to be voted out. So are you actively trying?
Expressed interest.
Word. I was yo, time to go.
I don't know. It kind of sounded like you were expressing interest last time. So at this point, do you want to stay in this game, or are you trying to be voted out?
I want to stay in this game.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Last week you were, kind of, I get it that you don't want to go home. That has been established. But you were kind of if this happens, I'd be okay because you are a person. If I just looked at the votes the first time, I would have thought that you would have voted for Zach, but you said you didn't.
I really did not.
I know, you said
swear.
you didn't. And so if you were, I guess, in on the attack is so much, but attack against Maddie, then how, I don't understand that if you were oh, I know that a bunch of people are voting Maddie, I'll throw my vote with them, but then I'm also ready to go home if you knew the whole plan with Maddie.
I don't understand your question.
Why didn't you just throw a random vote to skew the votes rather than contributing to Maddie knowing that could help her go home instead of you, if you were okay with going home?
Yeah.
Okay.
I totally thought that I was the only one voting for Maddie. I'm not gonna lie. I totally thought everyone was voting for me. So when Maddie's name came out multiple times, I was whoa, I didn't know this was actually a plan. I thought people were just lying to me and be yeah, do Maddie, and you know what I mean? When people are yes, we're going to vote for this person, but and then they actually vote for someone else, with Brady. That's what I thought was going on.
Bring up breeding.
I'm sorry to bring up breeding, but like I definitely
breeding.
thought that like people were just like telling me one thing but meant another thing.
Okay, so that was a lot.
I hated it.
Do we feel good after that? Are we ready to get to the vote?
Let's just get it.
Yeah.
Sure, do it.
All right.
Do it.
Ben, we'll start with you. It's time to vote.
Hallie.
I live for this. Or can I use the marker?
I can't vote tonight, so this is my no vote.
Oh, what a fun color! Cerulean.
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so. All right. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Hallie. Finn. Finn. 2 votes Finn. 1 vote Hallie. Finn. 3 votes Finn. 1 vote Hallie. Finn. 4 votes Finn. 1 vote Hallie. Eighth person voted on Survivor Boston and the second member of our jury. Finn. It's for your left. Finn, the tribe has spoken.
Totally.
Head up.
Great.
So it seems like you were actually all together, just not on the person you were saying. If that means one thing, is that it could literally be any one of you next. Grab your stuff, head on out. Good night.
Oh god, that was dark.
Next time on Survivor Boston, paranoia takes over the game.
This is not me being like, give me the idol. You know, obviously.
And something's hidden at the challenge.
Well, I feel like a stupid idiot right now, for one thing. This confessional footage of me talking about how I have the game on lock is gonna look literally dumb of me, which is unfortunate, but I guess all I have to say is I played myself. I really tried to switch the game up. It's something that I was hoping that would come a little bit later. But I guess all I have to really say is have a really fucking boring season of Survivor without me, you guys.